You are listening to Viewpoints from Place Cloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
We're standing on the corner of Streatham Common North and Streatham High Road, with Streatham Common itself behind us. But if we turn away from Common and look towards the other corner, there's a war memorial and a garden around it. And at the back of the garden, a large cedar tree. So this is the edge of the site that contained a house called Coventry Hall. The streets behind are past the Coventry Park estate, which was built on the hall's grounds, and the red brick blocks, post-war blocks at the Albert Carr Garden estates, also built on grounds of Coventry Park and Coventry Hall. The original house on this site was owned by a wealthy family, passed through lots of different families over time. So the Colbrand family in the Tudor era, then Sir Richard Sackville, who was Van Boleyn's cousin, the Marchioness of Winchester, the Howland family, and then the Dukes of Bedford, who were lords of the manor in Balham and owned a lot of land in Streatham. This house was their seat. The house that was known as Coventry Hall was the successor to the Duke of Bedford's house. It's built by the Earl of Coventry in the early 1800s, and it survived until 1982, long after its surroundings had completely changed. So a late 18th century engraving shows the Duke of Bedford's house in a country setting here, and there's a man in a tricorn hat with blue coat and pink breeches posing with his dog in the grounds of what's obviously a large manor house. The successor, built by the Earl of Coventry, was smaller. It was more of a town mansion, but still surrounded by large gardens. It secluded it from the surrounding streets. By the late 19th century, this house had been taken over by Anglican nuns. It's the only Anglican convent in Britain. It belonged to the Order of St. Andrew, which was set up for women who were unable at the time to join the priesthood. And then after the Second World War, when the building being converted to flats, there were ghost stories that circulated about the nuns that were said to still remain in residence in the building. So there's no clear reminder here of the house that was on site or the history of this place. It's been erased from view, apart from the large cedar. The cedar actually belonged to a house next door called the Chimes, which was beside the high road, and was destroyed by a V1 rocket in the Second World War. There was a lot of V1 damage around here. But Coventry Hall itself was right behind, and the cedar gives you an idea of the sort of gardens that were once on this site that no longer exists. But the layered past this relatively small site is just a fraction of the wider complexity that's underneath all the seeming logic and the order of the streets of South London and elsewhere, of course. And I feel there's a lingering atmosphere here that once you know the alternative history of the site, what it used to be, means you can never really see it in the same way again.